When you roll to the left, give me a left hook. When you roll to the left, give me a left hook. You come back to the right, straight right hand. There you go.
Welcome to the 5th installment of the Grip Lab, Grip Studios' very own podcast that highlights our partners and brings a voice to your favorite mobile marketplace for physical health and wellness. That right there was Keon around 5:15 a.m. The entirety of this interview was recorded during a 2-hour workout and may contain some background noise. Stick around until the end to hear final thoughts on the experience so that you can make an educated decision if stepping into the boxing ring is right for you.
Who is Keon K.O.K?
Indeed. So, I feel like that's a complex question. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of complexities and a lot of aspects to who I am. But in general, I would just say I'm a man on a mission, seeking alignment and building community through one avenue at a time. So music, boxing, the book club, like you mentioned, and just staying true to who I am and building legacy.
You know, I really like that. Some people, you know, when you ask that question, they stick to either their profession or maybe some type of service that they're doing. It's nice to see a holistic approach to it. Actually know who you are at least and be able to work on that, or who you aren't, right? And also be able to focus on that as well. So
that's a fact.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of that comes from the fact that I've had to find myself outside of those things that I do. So I've had sports taken away from me. I've had music taken away from me. So when you're forced to sit in that isolation, you know what I mean? You go through the process of like, okay, who am I? What am I really doing? You know, what's my purpose? How do I want this to look at the end of the day? What's the end goal? So I think just that type of personal development is key into just being the best person, not only the best person I could be, but just the best leader I can be, the best brother, the best son, the best, artist, all of that. So
all of it,
yeah, that isolation really just helped me develop as a person.
Are we hopping up in here or the bags or what?
We're gonna do 2 light rounds on the bags.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do you're not gonna spar today, but we're gonna do our spar. Yeah. If you want, I can move around with you, but we won't be moving heavy.
I don't want to get popped by Keon on my first day, man.
Nah, I'll work with you, Brody. I'm gonna be hitting the bag with TK. Good work.
So why'd you decide on 706?
So 706 came about because I'm into like the deeper meaning and the different things, right? So 7 usually represents the number of completion, the number of the consciousness, you know what I'm saying? Supreme masculine energy. And 6 usually represent the number of the physical, feminine energy, change, things that move. So I feel like life is about balance.
Yeah.
So pairing 7 and 6, I feel like is the number of balance. You know what I mean? On top of that, it's my birthday, 7/6.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So that number kind of just always meant something to me. Crazy thing, I was born 7'6", 7 pounds, 6 ounces.
No way.
Yeah. So that number always been with me. So I just, I just dove into the meaning of it and found something I could really cling to. So.
Dang, that makes things easy at least, scheduling wise.
Right. So there we got the 706 Club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to have eventually a Crown Culture Festival on July 6th.
All right.
Making it like a festival day. So
hope to be there for that.
Word. I just want to keep building on that.
Yeah.
And, just keep reinstalling that message. Balance between the higher consciousness and your physical. Especially running. When you get mid-running and be like, man, I could stop right now and I'll be all right. So it's all about conquering that.
Good thing you weren't born on 6/7, I guess.
Right.
I wonder how many folks would show up at 6.
Honestly, I feel like the same group would.
Really?
It wouldn't be a lot of people, but the same group would show up, I think.
They all seem to be pretty consistent.
Yeah. And it's growing every week.
Yeah.
You know
Notice that too. So what's the rhyme or reason for the different bags?
So the heavy bag, I personally like because it's more universal, but it's really to build like power. The smaller bags, this is more like a UFC MMA bag for kicking and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The aqua bags are boxing bags, but they easy on your hands and they more for speed. Which other one? That's the uppercut bag right there. Boom, boom.
Which one's your favorite? This one, I guess?
Actually this one right here though, yeah. Cause it's all technical stuff. So like turning my foot over, turning my wrist, boom. And digging because it's a heavy target. So it forces you to dig into the bag.
Hit through.
That should be the round.
How often do you have to consider somebody else's reach in the ring versus your own?
All the time, yeah. So like even today, you'll see. A lot of the first thing I do is come out and I'll measure with my arm.
I noticed that.
Yeah, that's my distance.
I gotcha.
Because a lot of times, people don't notice the foot tricks I'm playing. So I might be here. Okay, I know my distance. So now, when I come back, I'm moving my feet here, but I'm making it seem like I'm still that same distance.
Yeah.
That way, when I come in, boom. Sit down a little bit, Brody. Yup. And you want to squat down a little bit. Yup. Boom. That way, you got more popping. Yup. There you go. Boxing, all mind games, bro. It's all mind games.
What's the number one rule in boxing?
The number one rule is protect yourself at all times.
That's what the ref says right before.
Yup.
All right.
That's why it's the number one rule.
The second rule is hit and don't get hit.
You can't hit it. You can't protect it.
I'll move with you a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and show you things, but we ain't gonna really spar.
I feel that.
Yeah. People don't know the mouthpieces would save people from getting knocked out. Yeah. Because you can bite down. Yeah, like absorb the impact.
Yeah.
Like, say for instance, if you hit somebody while they jaw open, either you'll break their jaw or knock them clean out from the click. And they just go. Yeah, the mouthpiece is a saver. Outside of just the teeth. Ooh.
3, 2, 1.
Good work, buddy. And you'll see, you don't gotta touch the body hard, it just gotta be correct. And you'll feel it. You know what I mean?
Just great defense.
Appreciate it, bro.
Realistically, what kind of effort and work goes into what you just did when it comes to like six rounds like that? Like, what's the?
Well, like with them, I'm more so, like X, I've been working with him for a couple years, but I'm more so teaching him. So I go like, I still show him certain shots, but I'm not going hard shots. Yeah.
I could tell you had a different mentality for each of them.
Yeah.
Just kind of playing off their expertise and just work with them.
Yep. So like, with X is about 50, with TK is about 40, and he was new, so we really just worked body. Yeah.
So what brought you from Jersey City to Houston?
Initially, it was actually X.
Really?
So yeah, he had found a house down here, and basically was like, "Yo, come down here and join in on this Airbnb with me." So I came down here, and we stayed and started training and whatnot. But me personally, I was like, I'm not really big in the Airbnb market on the outskirts of the city, so I didn't really want nothing to do with that. I had sold my half of it, but that's what initially brought me down here. And then when we was getting it ready, hands up. When we was getting it ready, I basically just fell in love with the city. It was like, you know what? I like it down here. This the spot to be.
It's a good spot, man. I love Houstonians to death till you get them behind the wheel of a vehicle, and then it's...
Man, listen. Every time I say that, they act like I'm judging. I'm like, yo, Houston driving? It's some of the worst I've seen, for real. I'm like, don't nobody use signals. Everybody's speeding.
And it's everybody else's fault. When did you move to Houston?
21. Right after that first freeze.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just missed
Just
it.
in time. Well, welcome to Houston, man.
Appreciate it. Word.
You're Houston in my book now.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of love down here, so it's really become home.
It really is nothing but love, man.
Yeah.
Plenty to do, plenty to see. It does take an hour to get from Houston to Houston sometimes.
It
but
does.
Other than that.
I had to get used to that.
Yeah.
Like where I'm from, Jersey City. Jersey is small in general, but my city, the longest it'll take you to get from one side to the other is about 15 minutes.
Isn't it crazy that urban sprawl is just...
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah.
I travel to New York City in about 5 minutes.
It takes longer than that to get from Galleria to downtown.
Right. That's why I'm like, yeah, it's totally different. Hey, X, if you gonna paw, expect the right hand. If you gonna paw, use your chin behind your shoulder and keep that right hand ready. And don't be as square. Get on the angle more. There you go. There you go.
All right. When you pump, do you also supposed to step as well if you're pumping the paw?
It depends on the distance. So if he's close enough, you don't have to.
Okay.
You just, you bait him into a shot. Because I want him to throw that right hand so I can sit and throw something off of it.
And they were
Good
getting
jab.
fierce there for a second.
It's good though.
Yeah.
Body shot.
You're pretty active in boxing, running, reading, music.
Fact.
Seems like that hits body, mind, soul, and then some.
Yup.
You think there's like a common denominator between those? And is there anything that you're trying to focus on to kind of bring some different avenues towards that?
Like the common denominator, I feel like it's mastery of self. I feel like they all just different forms of learning how to master yourself through physical discipline, mental discipline. Like I read a lot now, but I wasn't just let me just sit down and read a book. It took me making myself get better at concentration. You know what I mean? To really sit and read. So, but I wanted to do that about myself. I wanted to become better mentally and physically. So and pour into my soul. I feel like, you know, I don't know how religious you are, but for me, boxing is another form of praise. You know what I mean? Same thing with meditating. It's all the same thing, getting in touch with the divine creator or whatever you believe in, the divine energy. But this is just one of them realms where I'm able to express it. Same thing with music. Same thing with the run club. It's just all different variations of it. And then, I don't know if you was able to read some of the bio, but I actually went to a Catholic school called St. Peter's Prep when I was in high school. So just being of service, that was something that's like a big thing. So I've always tried to find avenues to be of service, be a man of service. And then we had these alphabets that we abided by, which was A, B, C, D, which was accountability, belief, commitment, discipline. So I try to apply those to everything, bro.
Be comfortable being uncomfortable is a piece of advice that you've mentioned numerous times.
Yep.
Is there any practice or technique that you could share that could help people that are trying to step out of their own comfort zone?
So for me, how I practice that is by doing little uncomfortable things every day. So like, I'm sure you've probably heard of like taking a freezing cold shower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like, if I walk in my building, I'll see the elevator, but it's like, nah, I'm gonna take the 3 stairs. I'm gonna take the stairs up the 3 floors, make it a workout. Just do little things that makes me comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, all right, going the extra mile. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, I've noticed the difference in like when I translate with the ring or just life in general. You don't mind going that extra mile to get it done. You know what I mean? And then just doing that over time, and even if it's little by little over time, you start to notice the difference between you and everybody else.
There's a gap.
You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, there's no way they can catch you now. You know what I mean? It's simply because most people run from being uncomfortable. It's like, yo, it's uncomfortable. I'm scared of it. But nah, you got to embrace it. You got to take it and roll with the punches.
Yeah, you got to lean in. How important is cardio?
Very important. Definitely for starters in the ring, though. Like, I would say it's about 65 to 70% all endurance. Who gonna get tired first? Because when you're tired, that's when you start making mistakes. Everybody can fight when they fresh. Everybody. You know what I mean? It's who gonna last longer. So the running, and not only just running, but adding the sprints into the run. So like, even if I'm doing like 10 miles, every 2 miles, I'll throw a 30-second sprint in there just to keep that gas tank high. But it's extremely important, bro. And you can see the difference between fighters who run and don't run. You see it.
I think that's one of my shortcomings. I'll get out there and I'll put some miles in, but it's those sprints and I guess hitting that accelerator that I don't focus on as often to make sure I get all that gas out the tank. You know.
Yup. Yeah, definitely incorporate those. It makes a huge difference. Like when you in there and you moving around, that's the jog. That's the jog. But when you sitting down and that's the sprint. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. 30 seconds. Go hook.
I'm sure stepping in the ring sparks some adrenaline.
For
and
sure.
I bet whenever you're performing music as well, how do you channel that energy, that adrenaline when you're performing in different arenas?
My biggest thing is breathing techniques. So like, this is the thing. If any boxer or fighter say they don't ever get nervous, they're lying. We all feel it. You feel the butterflies. You know what I'm saying? You putting the preparation in during the week and the months, so you feel that nervousness. It's just, for me, it's breathing and being confident in my training, whether we talking music or boxing. But like specifically in the ring, it's breathing. Making sure I'm taking deep breaths, inhale, exhale, and staying true to like everything I've worked on. So I go through a checklist. You know what I'm saying? All right, boom, chin tuck, hands up, move. Don't be too eager, be patient. Work the jab. Can't nobody touch you when you work the jab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just talk myself through it. And then do the ring. I mean, on the stage, it's the same kind of thing. I walk out, I breathe, I see the crowd, everybody going crazy. And then it's just the lyrics. I'm going through the lyrics. And then it's kind of like, I can't explain it, bro, but it's almost like something just, I transform in a way, you know what I mean? To where as though now I'm just in that groove and like I'm meshed with the music, you know what I mean? So, and I'm feeding off the energy of the crowd. first thing is for me, like, because again, I'm a craftsman, so I really take heed to advice from older artists or just even the skill technique of performance. So the first thing I always make sure is not to cover the mic with my hands. That way my vocals don't sound muffled.
Gotcha.
It's clear you can hear what I'm saying. Then it's just making sure me and the DJ in sync. I've had situations where the DJ messed up, you know what I'm saying? I just had to tell him, yo, cut the music. And I do an acapella, you know what I mean? Just to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
And yo, go to the next song. So that way when this acapella start, we back into it. So it's just kind of the same way how I pour, I'm controlling the show the same way. Keeping my distance and then attacking when it's time to attack.
I got a good one for you.
All right, let's get it.
LCK Taekwondo got a front row seat to your latest music video, Elite. Other than boxing, have you ever practiced other forms of martial arts?
I haven't officially, but I've gone to an MMA gym, I've gone to a kickboxing gym, and I've done it. But I found these they just reign superior. I've gotten there with different types of guys, and yo, it's just understanding distance. Once you understand distance, like, again, everybody got their own discipline. So, you know what I'm saying? I respect everybody's discipline. But for the most part, a kick, waist up, you block it the same way you block a punch. You know what I'm saying? It's just all good technique. Keeping your elbows catching it, rolling to the impact of it. And I can counter too. So, boom, you kick here and your legs in the air. If I snap a jab at you, you're going. You know what I mean? But officially, nah, I never practiced it. Just, yeah, in the gym.
I saw some guys rolling around on the ground over there. I figured they were doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. And it's cool, don't get me wrong. It's great.
It's all in jest.
But my thing is, I like versatile skill sets. And if I ever get in a street fight, I don't want to roll around on the ground. I want to keep this up right here on my feet. So, but a lot of those guys come to the boxing gym to learn striking. Yep. So I've worked with a lot of them.
How you feel?
Nothing like getting hit in the face in the morning, you know?
Most right people think they're southpaw, but really they orthodox. Most right-handed people naturally put their right hand forward, right? Because that's your power hand. That's the hand you want back here. You want to hide it. So when you, boom, you know what I'm saying? When it's here, you come with this one, ain't no real, it's your left hand, ain't no real power behind it. And then if this your power hand, you're going to over jab because you're trying to be strong with your right hand. And you find yourself off balance. You sit back on the power. Boom, boom, boom. Yo, I ran 10 miles yesterday. My legs.
I saw that.
Yeah. My legs sore low key. I feel it. Yeah. The day before like boxing, I usually don't run more than like 5 or 6 miles. But like a week ago, no, like 4 days ago, I was like, yo, I'm about to eat as many cinnamon rolls as I can. So once I do that, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna do a long run. So I ran the 10 miles, yeah. Cause I feel it, it'd be good. Like, I could tell, I'd be like, I needed those carbs. I feel it on the run, yeah. Well, facts. I crashed, like, that's the biggest thing, bro. Controlling your breathing and just being durable, having endurance. Mentally and physically durable. Cause sometimes you can get tired mentally and you're physically you fine, but if you're tired mentally, you'll start to crash out. That's how I get fighters in the ring sometimes. Word. Sometimes that's how I get people in the ring. I make the whole fight boring just so mentally you like, okay. And then boom, it's like, oh shit. I'll go a whole 2 rounds just throwing slow punches, looking at you, moving. It's like, all right, I figured him out. And then as soon as you think you did, pop, 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 pop. It's like, what the fuck? Word, yeah, this is good work.
Yeah, what's next?
We just hitting the bag and then we done.
Okay.
Everything you can touch here, you can touch with every punch. That's what it's for. Boom, boom, boom. That's your measuring stick. That was good work too.
Thank you, man. I
Yeah, good work.
appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to come back out here, man. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
Where a lot of people ain't gonna make it through the whole workout.
Yeah.
As soon as you're around rope, it'd be it.
Yeah.
You're like, yo.
That's no joke, man. You mentioned it took a while to let your dad know about your involvement in music.
Yeah.
What was that turning point that made you finally decide to start sharing your music with him?
Well, it was more so when I started taking it more serious. Because my father, he was an artist back in the day. My father's a writer, naturally. So growing up, I was in and out of studios, all types of stuff like that. So when I started music, it was like, okay, he's serious. You know what I mean? I don't want to just do it and he like, oh, this sucked. Because I'm like, yeah, it's over with. And I know he's going to tell me the truth. So once I like really started working on it secretly and I'm getting better and better, I let my friends hear it. Now they liking it. So it was like, okay, let me bring it to it's like my ultimate judge. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring it to my pops. And when I just put it on, I ain't say nothing. I just put it on and see how he react to it. And he was nodding. He like, yo, who this? And I told him it was me. And he was stunned for a second because again, he had no knowledge that I was doing what he did. You know what I mean? So he like, run that back. And he liked it. He was like, oh, this is fire. And then we locked in from there. And even though we didn't officially start it at that moment, that's when we started our company together.
Yeah. It's nice having your dad involved in stuff, you know?
For sure. For sure.
To that point, how has his experience shaped the way you look at music and the industry as a whole?
I definitely feel like having my pops by my side shaped how I look at it, not only like musically, but business-wise. So like throughout my whole process, even though they kind of done away with artist development on the mainstream level, I was always in artist development with my father. So I was learning how to write hooks. I was learning to study the Billboard charts to see what's working, what's not working, or how the business worked. And my father taught me a lot about business, but the biggest thing he did was teach me to go teach myself. You know what I mean? So I started learning about publishing in my master's and, you know, how to form the company, royalties, management. So just the music business in general. So I feel like that's one unique aspect that I've always had as an artist, that I've always understood the difference between music and the music business. So I think that's the unique way that, you know, being with my pops helped me like look at it.
Yeah, I notice a lot of people appreciate the music, but they don't know the music business side of things, and that's where it gets tough for them.
Yep. Most artists aren't businessmen. Most artists are artists. You know what I mean? I respect it. It's just, if you're going to do art as a business, you should learn the business. Like,
check out our latest playlist collaboration with Keon and the Crown Culture Unlimited label. With hard-hitting lyrics, cadences that'll KO, and hooks to the earbuds, Gloves Off is now available on Spotify.
Everybody's putting in work this morning. I like to see it.
I was like, one day I'm going to come in here, we're going to have like 10 people in here. Watch.
Yeah, it's going to be full.
Yeah, a couple boxers hit me up. They was like, yo, I want to come at 5 a.m. with y'all. So
bring it on.
I was like, yeah, it's like I'm building a fight club. Just community, man, community. I feel like that's the key to the future, rebuilding community. I feel like a lot of social media kind of separated us. Even though it's a world at your fingertips, people are more antisocial. They'd rather not be in person for stuff. They'd rather not talk to people. So I was like, moving forward, I think it's going to be community, building groups.
Like you mentioned earlier, just when it comes to reading, the attention spans as well. You know, I feel like people don't cling on to something anymore. They don't put their focus and their efforts on something. It's just that attention just there and gone.
Yep, that's for certain. I can't say it's 100% social media fault, but it contributes to it. I mean, scrolling. That's just attention everywhere. Like,
Trap Star has to be a personal favorite track of mine. It projects an image of leadership as well as self-mastery.
Yeah.
You've also mentioned politicking on various occasions. So with that being said, have you ever considered running for public office?
Yo, actually I have, but I always thought of it like, and again, you never know what the future holds, but I always thought of it as something I would do older. And as funny as it sounds, you know, a lot of people don't like them and they say what they say. But a person that made me realize I could get into politics was Trump. I was like, whether it's a mayor, councilman, whatever it is, Senate, I'm like, it's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I definitely can see that at some point in the future. Yeah.
Any politician dead or alive that you would get in the ring with if you had a choice?
I mean, really all of them. Yeah. But
at the same time, point them out, man.
If I had to say any one of them really would be tough, like, all right, I would probably pick like Roosevelt, because I heard he got shot and gave a speech and didn't even budge. So I'm like, yeah, he gotta be tough as nails.
Ramen Noodle Baby, your latest leads off with a nice catch-all with its own sense of vulnerability.
Yeah.
What parts of creating and or performing music seems to require the most vulnerability for you?
Really, to be honest, it's the whole thing, because like a lot of my music is relevant to my life. So a lot of things I release later than when I recorded it or was going through that situation, just for, you know, whether it's other people involved, whether it's safety, legality, like all types of things. So I would say really just creating the music because I'm actually pouring my life into it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then performing it, those memories, those feelings always come back. So like, even with songs that's more heartfelt, like the song I had dedicated to my grandmother, like I still feel that every time I perform it. I don't even listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people do love it. So I still give it to them here and there, but it's just like things like that that always brings me back to those moments, and I kind of relive them with the music. So some songs I really enjoy because they, you know, they warrior music. It's music I train to. But then some songs I only go to when I have to.
Yeah.
Because they, you know what I'm saying? Those are real heartfelt places.
Well, that's commendable, man. Like you're not doing it for yourself at that point, right? You're doing it for others that enjoy it.
Right. 100%. 100%.
Does it ever get stale? Some of the older stuff, or
some probably can, but I've had the privilege of having timeless beats, timeless music. So a lot of my songs they're not trendy. So they don't like, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, that was the sound in 2015. I can put out something that I've recorded 5 years ago and everybody will think I was recorded yesterday. You know what I mean? So that's the benefit of it. And then being, like I told you, that isolation, being locked in for so long, I got a vault of music. I got over 200, 300 songs, you know what I mean? So at any time, I could just throw something out, see how people react to it, you know, adjust or whatever it is.
Do you have a personal favorite that's out right now?
That's out right now? Yeah. Probably, yeah, I love them all for different reasons. Yeah. From Get 'Em to Ramen Noodle Baby, Elite, Trap Star, like.
I like Trap Star. It has a rocky feel to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was another, you know, great period in time. I actually recorded that during the pandemic.
That was a COVID baby, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was still when you're in Jersey, huh?
Yep. But like my last couple years in Jersey, so like before I came to Texas, the last like 4 or 5 years in Jersey, I was on the road nonstop, meaning just traveling. So I'm back and forth from Jersey to Philly, Carolina, back up to Boston, New York. So I just on the road a lot before I finally settled my feet down.
You've talked about environment a couple times. Has being now in Houston, maybe that environment changed your sound versus in the past? For sure. I always tell people I'm Houston adopted at this point. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and people will hear it with some of the new material, but my whole Protect the Crown theme, I recorded all of that in Houston when I came down here. So like, you can just hear that it's a little different. It's like, okay, it's a different undertone to this. And I love the sound, you know what I mean? I was always on my way to that sound, but when I got to Houston, it was just solidified. I got you.
Yeah.
We're on the outro. Your consistency and your mentality have really set the bar for anyone that's paying attention. What's the secret to staying driven when obstacles get in the way?
Well, I mean, I know it's redundant to answer a question with what you said, but it's mentality. You really, and I'm just speaking from personal experience, you really got to make up in your mind that I won't be denied. You know what I mean? Yeah. That don't mean it's not going to waver. That don't mean it's not going to be hard. That don't mean you ain't going to think about quitting sometime, because you are. But you got to make a choice like, yo, no matter what come at me, I'm getting to where I'm going. And once you kind of adopt that, it just make it easier. It's like, okay, yeah, this hard right now. Yeah, it's challenges, but I'm going to keep going. So that's just been my whole thing, just keep going. And understanding like it's a marathon. It's not necessarily a race. It's a lot of people I started with that's not here no more. You know what I mean? From music, boxing, everything. It's a lot of people, a lot of great talents too, that I started with, especially in Jersey, that either they got sidetracked, got locked up, either they got killed, had families and lost their passion, you know, just money issues, a lot of different things. So for me, it's just always been striving forward and just keep going. That's the only difference I really noticed with the greats. It's not that they necessarily do anything spectacular, it's just that they never stopped.
Marathon.
Yep, 100%, bro.
Man, I've had a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
No doubt, Brody.
You come back next Thursday?
I very well may. People want to know more about you. Where can they connect?
Definitely follow on Instagram at Keon K.O.K. Check in on YouTube as well, same thing. I try to keep everything aligned, so Keon K.O.K. on every platform for real. But definitely on Instagram, we'll be launching the website soon that'll have, the EPK and the merch and everything. So we'll be good to go from there. Or if they really want to know more, they can show up at Sunday at 7:06.
706. What's the address?
Right there at Memorial Park Tennis Court.
Sunday 706.
Yep.
Find out real quick.
Yep. We can run and talk.
Well, I'm gonna get out of here, Keon. I really do appreciate your authenticity, man, from your music to just being able to sit here and talk and giving support to myself and the rest of the guys.
Word, bro, definitely come back.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming too, for
Thank
real.
you.
That was good work today.
Yeah, thanks for allowing me to take up some space.
No doubt, bro. Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna show you this hill real quick.
Okay,
To show,
yeah.
This shit crazy. It's dope.
Whew. I'd say that was a hard session. A 2-hour duration at the crack of dawn with numerous rounds of high-intensity exertion. Find out more details on the Grip Studio app. The 706 Run Club is on there almost every Sunday, and if you want to get some top-notch coaching from Keon, the Golden Glove boxer himself, you may just find his availability on the app as well. All links are in the description.